here in Google and giving me your insights into what a social media digital slash new media certificate should include. As I mentioned, I'm doing this project for University of Rhode Island to develop their first digital media certificate. And I have a hypothesis of what, it's 12 credits, what those classes should include, but I'm pro-sourcing as opposed to crowdsourcing and talking to folks like yourself who are industry leaders and potential employers to figure out what do students need to know, what do they need to learn in order to be like catnip to people like you know, who are looking to hire. And just one thing to keep in mind when we talk about students, we're not just talking about people born in the 90s, which sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But that it could be someone, who in the past, who has a career behind them and they're looking to upgrade their skills and be more relevant to the new media space.
Sure.
But before we get started, I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about your company and your background.
Sure. So Big Fish is the name of the company, Big Fish Results, and our mission is to grow market leaders online, to make them the big fish in the market.
Nice.
So I have a background working with a lot of, about a dozen Fortune 500 companies. So the whole idea is to bring those strategies, tools, and tactics to local companies, as well as national companies. So we still work with some large enterprises today, Foster Grant. We've done some work with Herb Chambers, but we work with a lot of local clients too. So anything from retailers to limo companies, a variety of companies. So we do not focus on a specific niche. We focus across a variety of industries with the goal to make them, each client we work with, the top market leader online.
And in your background, what are some of the big brands I was noticing on your LinkedIn profile? Would you mind mentioning some of those?
Sure. So I used to run digital advertising for ADP, the payroll company. So I ran the employee services side of the business, so the payroll side of the business, which ADP is known for. But I also ran the digital marketing agency for dealers. ADP at the time, it just recently got spun off, but they had a large automotive division. So I worked with brands like Ford Motor Company, Lithia, General Motors, BMW, Penske.
Cool.
Like I said, about a dozen Fortune 500 companies between, the corporate side as well as the dealer side, and we were one of the few Google partners. So we were one of the top spenders with Google, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. So it was a
wow,
great run. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Thanks.
And how much overlap do you find between the big brands like that and then the smaller clients that you are trying to help right now?
Overlap from a strategic standpoint. I mean, they're approaching things from a different perspective, but there's still a big need for education on both sides, which is one of the reasons we have a core value that's about transparency and simplicity. So what we've done is try to make a fishing analogy to everything. So, for instance, attract is to, when you're fishing, you want to attract new customers. You want to pull in the fish, attract them to your bait. So we find that matches very closely to digital marketing because we want it to, number one, appear at the top of Google, for instance, but then attract them with the content so that they will go further down the buying cycle. And then essentially the next step is a haul and the catch. So we want to, pull the fish into the boat. So in the online world, it means to have them convert. So that resonates at both levels, at a corporate level, which you wouldn't necessarily think it would because, they're, more sophisticated typically, but I still find even at the corporate level there's still a need for education, a lot of gaps. So that simplicity applies across both spectrums.
Yeah, that's great. So what are some of the educational gaps that you're finding? And that would be, who are you talking to when you're trying to educate your clients? Are they CEOs or marketing teams? What do you think?